Section 41 is about what is essentially a whole sublanguage for specifying patterns within the Wolfram language. Several elements of that pattern language have come up in earlier sections. The pattern blank, for example, stands for anything. The pattern with X before the blank also matches anything and calls that thing X. And the pattern with H after the blank matches anything with a head of H. Here's a definition for a function digitback that applies to any argument with a head of integer. The pattern in this definition gives the name n to the thing that matches the argument. This shows that function applied to various arguments. The function returns a framed list of digits when applied to an integer, and otherwise returns the function unchanged. A general condition for a pattern to match can be added by including /semicolon and the condition after the pattern. For example, this assignment introduces a definition that only applies when the argument of the function p_digitback is a positive integer. The /semicolon n greater than 0 at the end of the pattern specifies that this pattern should only match if the thing that matches n blank satisfies the condition n greater than 0. This definition is used when the argument of p_digitback is a positive integer, but does not apply when the argument is a negative integer or if the argument is not an integer. The /semicolon condition can also go at the end of a definition. For example, here is a pair of definitions for a function called check that takes two arguments, x and y, with one definition that returns red when x is greater than y, and a second definition that returns green when x is less than or equal to y. In patterns, blank matches anything, double blank matches any sequence of one or more things, and there is another pattern, triple blank, that matches any sequence of 0 or more things. For example, this assignment uses triple blank patterns to define a function black-white that applies when the argument is any list with black followed by white, and with any number of elements before, between, or after them. This shows that function applied to a list. In the definition of black-white, the name m is used for the sequence of elements between black and white. The result is a list with elements 1, 2, 3, and 4, and with the elements between black and white inserted between 1 and 2, between 2 and 3, and between 3 and 4. Sometimes there is more than one way for a match to work out. In that last input, for example, there are two white color swatches, so the triple blank between black and white could match either the sequence between black and the first white color swatch, or the sequence between black and the second white color swatch. By default, double blank and triple blank pick the shortest match that will work. Enclosing double blank or triple blank in longest can be used to instead pick the longest match that will work. For example, here is a modification of the earlier definition with the triple blank between black and white enclosed in longest. With this modified definition, applying this new function to the same list as before causes the triple blank enclosed in longest to match the sequence between black and the last of the two white color swatches, which is the longest sequence that will work. Another pattern that matches sequences of things is a pattern followed by two dots, which gives a pattern that matches one or more repetitions of whatever is before the two dots. The pattern x dot dot, for example, matches one or more repetitions of x. This defines a function bwcut that uses longest and a pattern with two dots to cut out the longest sequence of black and white from a list. The vertical bar between black and white gives a pattern that matches black or white, and following that pattern with two dots gives a pattern that matches any sequence of one or more repetitions of black or white. This applies that function to a list of colors. In the result, the sequence of black and white is replaced by red, and elements before and after that sequence are copied into separate lists. The named pattern x blank is actually short for x colon blank. Both patterns give the name x to whatever matches the blank. The colon can be omitted for patterns that start with a blank, and for patterns that don't start with blank, the colon can be included to give a name to whatever matches that pattern. For example, this defines a function grid22 where the argument uses a colon to give the name m to a pattern that consists of a list of two pairs of blanks. This pattern will match any list of two pairs where the elements in the pairs can be anything. This shows that function applied to various arguments. When the argument is a list of two pairs, the result is a grid with a frame, and applying that function to arguments that are not a list of two pairs returns the input unchanged. Here is a modification of the bwcut function that was entered earlier, with a colon used to give a name to the sequence of black and white elements. With this definition, rather than replacing the sequence of black and white elements with red, that sequence is replaced with a framed number giving the number of elements in that sequence. For one last example, consider using patterns to implement the classic computer science algorithm of sorting a list by repeatedly swapping pairs of successive elements that are found to be out of order. To get started, this shows one application of a rule that swaps two elements in a sample list. The rule in this input applies to a list in which the elements that match B blank and A blank satisfy the condition B greater than A. So this rule will apply to any list in which there are successive elements that are out of order. In this rule, any elements before B blank will match X triple blank and are copied to the start of the new list, and any elements after A blank will match Y triple blank and are copied to the end of the new list. The effect is to swap the two elements that are out of order and leave the rest of the list unchanged. In this example, the rule swaps the 5 and the 4 at the start of the list. This uses nestlist and a pure function to do that operation 10 times. Eventually, the list is completely sorted. This shows that operation done using the function fixedPointList rather than nestlist. FixedPointList works like nestlist, except that instead of telling it a fixed number of steps, FixedPointList keeps going until the result reaches a fixed point, where nothing more is changing. The fixed point in this example happens when the list is completely sorted. Now apply transpose to get a list of lists in which the first list is the list of elements that appear first after each step, the second list is the list of elements that appear second after each step, and so on. Applying list line plot to that result plots each list in a different color to get a plot that shows how the sorting algorithm proceeds. This does all of those calculations in one input, giving a graphical representation of the process for sorting a random list of 20 elements. That's the end of the examples for this section. To summarize, here is some of the programming vocabulary from this section. The examples included the /semicolon notation for adding conditions to patterns, the triple blank pattern, the pattern with two dots for matching one or more repetitions of something, the colon notation for making named patterns, and the longest function to use when there is more than one way to match a sequence or to match a set of repetitions. This section also included an application of the function fixedPointList, which is used for repeatedly applying an operation until the result no longer changes. More information about patterns can be found by opening the Wolfram Language and System Documentation Center, clicking the Core Language Instructor button, and choosing Rules and Patterns from the menu that pops up, which brings up the guide page on Rules and Patterns. Specifically on the subject of patterns, there is a link here to the guide page on the entire language for entering patterns in the Wolfram language. Here are the exercises from the end of this section. These exercises explore some interesting applications, and some of them are perhaps a little more challenging than other exercises in this book. As a relatively simple example, consider exercise 41.2. In the first 100 Roman numerals, find those containing L, I, and X in that order. To get started, this uses array and characters to get a list of lists of characters in Roman numerals up to 100. Lists that contain the characters L, I, and X in that order can be picked out using the cases function with a pattern that only matches those lists. Here is a pattern that will do that. This pattern will match any list that has the characters L, I, and X in that order. This pattern uses triple blanks to match any number of other characters before, between, and after the L, the I, and the X. This uses the cases function with that pattern to pick out the required lists. Applying string join to the elements in that result reconstructs the original Roman numerals.